He finally proposed.
Looks like you lost everything, even your dignity.
Look at the ring. He chose me.
While you're stuck here dying alone.
They laughed. The sound cut through the hospital room sharper than any pain she felt in her body. It wasn't soft laughter. It wasn't nervous. It was loud, careless, cruel. The kind of laughter that came from people who felt victorious. She lay on the hospital bed, barely able to lift her head. An oxygen mask covered her mouth and nose, fogging faintly with every shallow breath. Her body ached. Purple and yellow bruises stained her arms. Her chest felt heavy, like a stone was pressed against her lungs. Machines hummed beside her, blinking green and red, counting her breaths like they weren't sure she'd keep making them. And still they laughed. Her husband stood at the foot of her bed, straight-backed, dressed neatly, not a single sign of worry on his face. He didn't look at her the way a husband should look at a wife fighting to stay alive. He didn't hold her hand. He didn't ask the nurse anything. Instead, he smiled. Beside him stood her best friend. The woman who had braided her hair as a child. The woman who had cried at her wedding. The woman who once promised, hand over heart, that nothing would ever come between them. That woman was laughing too. She pointed at the woman on the bed, at her, like the whole thing was a joke. Like the oxygen mask, the bruises, the pain, were entertainment. Look at her, the best friend said between laughs. This is how life ends when you don't know your place. The husband chuckled, shaking his head. I told you she was weak. Always sick. Always holding me back. The woman on the bed tried to speak. Her lips moved under the mask, but no sound came out. Her throat burned. Her eyes filled with tears she didn't have the strength to wipe away. Then it happened. He reached into his pocket. Her heart skipped, foolishly, painfully, because for one split second, hope flared. Maybe this was a joke. Maybe this was some twisted test. Maybe he was about to apologize. Maybe he was about to kneel and say he was sorry for everything. Instead, he took her best friend's hand. Right there. Right in front of the hospital bed. The ring caught the light. Gold. Expensive. Bigger than the one he had ever given his wife. I don't want to waste any more time, he said casually. Marry me. Her best friend gasped dramatically, then burst into louder laughter. Here? In front of her? Yes, he said. She should see what she lost. He slid the ring onto her finger. They clapped. They laughed. They kissed. And the woman on the hospital bed screamed, but only inside her head, because her body was too broken to make a sound. She closed her eyes. And in that moment, neither of them knew the truth. They didn't know that while they mocked her, while they humiliated her at her weakest moment, a document had already been signed. They didn't know that somewhere far away, a fortune worth $500 million now carried her name. They didn't know that the woman they were laughing at was no longer just a sick wife on a hospital bed. Before the story continues, welcome, story lovers. If you enjoy emotional, shocking stories filled with betrayal, karma, and powerful twists, you're in the right place. Make sure you like this story, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another unforgettable tale. Sit back, relax, and let the story unfold. She woke up to silence. Not the mocking laughter. Not the cruel voices. Just the steady beep of a heart monitor and the soft hiss of oxygen. Her eyes fluttered open slowly. The room was empty. The chair where her husband had stood was pushed aside. The spot where her best friend had laughed was vacant. Only the nurse moved quietly, adjusting a drip. You're awake, the nurse said gently, noticing her eyes. Try not to speak yet. Tears rolled down the woman's face, soaking into the pillow. Not from pain, from humiliation. From betrayal so deep it felt like her heart had been ripped open. Hours passed. Maybe a day. Time blurred. No visitors came. Not her husband. Not her best friend. When the doctor finally arrived, he spoke carefully. You're lucky, he said. Another hour without treatment, and we might have lost you. She almost laughed. Lucky. That evening, a stranger came. He wore a dark suit. Not like her husband's cheap confidence-filled suits. This one was quiet. respectful, heavy with importance. Are you Mrs.? He asked softly. She nodded weakly. My name is Mr. Hale, he said. I represent the estate of Eleanor Whitmore. The name struck something deep in her chest. Her grandmother. The woman who had disappeared from her life years ago after family conflicts. The woman everyone said was wealthy but distant. The woman her husband always dismissed as old and useless. She passed away last week, the man continued. You are her sole surviving heir. The room felt suddenly too small. I don't understand, she whispered. He opened a folder. Documents. Seals. Numbers that didn't feel real. Your grandmother left you everything, he said. Properties. Investments. Accounts. The total value is approximately $500 million. Her breath caught. 500 million. The world tilted. Her husband didn't know. Her best friend didn't know. The people who laughed at her weakness had no idea that power had quietly changed hands. Tears streamed down her face again, but this time they were different. Not broken tears. Awakening tears. She stayed in the hospital another week. And during that week, she didn't call anyone. She didn't announce anything. She listened. She learned. She healed. Her husband finally showed up on the 6th day. Not with flowers. Not with guilt. With irritation. You embarrass me, he said, standing by the bed like she was an inconvenience. People saw you like that. Weak. Crying. She looked at him calmly. He frowned. Why are you staring at me like that? No answer. I'm filing for divorce, he continued. Don't worry, I'll be generous. You can keep the old apartment. She almost smiled. Her best friend didn't come. But she texted. Hope you recover fast. Life moves on. She deleted the message. When she was discharged, she didn't go home. A car waited outside the hospital. Black. Tinted. Quiet. Mr. Hale opened the door. Your grandmother left instructions, he said. You are to stay at the Whitmore estate. The estate was nothing like her old life. Wide gates. Endless green. A house so large it felt like history breathed inside its walls. She stood in the entrance hall, stunned. This is mine, she whispered. Yes, he replied. All of it. For the first time in years, she felt safe. Weeks passed. She recovered fully. The bruises faded. Her posture changed. Her eyes sharpened. She learned about businesses. About boards. About power. She cut her hair. Changed her wardrobe. Not to impress anyone, but to match the woman she was becoming. And still she said nothing. Until the invitation arrived. Her husband was getting married. To her best friend. The wedding was lavish. Expensive. Social media buzzed. Everyone praised the couple. They didn't know who funded the venue. They didn't know who owned the land. They didn't know the quiet woman who approved the booking. The day of the wedding, she arrived late. The music stopped when she entered. Heads turned. Whispers rippled through the room. She wasn't wearing white. She was wearing power. Her husband froze. Her former best friend's smile collapsed. She walked forward calmly, heels clicking softly. Relax, she said gently. I'm not here to stop anything. She turned to the guests. I just came to congratulate the couple and reclaim what belongs to me. Security stepped forward. Her security. The venue manager appeared pale. Sir, he whispered to the groom, this property belongs to her. Silence fell like thunder. She smiled. By the way, she added casually, the accounts you've been using? Frozen. Effective immediately. Her husband's knees buckled. Her former best friend dropped the bouquet. She leaned close, voice low. You laughed at me in a hospital bed. Now watch me walk away with everything. She turned and left. This time they didn't laugh. They cried. And she never looked back.